All right, guys, we're going to have an example of how to do your Hoot Woods. I've got all 300 of my mice over here in my little pile. We're going to start on our data collection sheet right up here where it says you're starting with 3 mice and 1 owl. So I've got my 3 mice right here, spread them out, and I've got my 1 owl. So you need to have your owl kind of high up, and then we're going to drop it. Okay. Oop, look, he landed on 1 mouse right there, right? So number of mice caught. That was my first run. I dropped him 1 time. So number of mice caught is 1. Number of owls starved. Remember, if you look back at your rules, the owls have to catch 3 mice in order to survive. So the number of owls starved is 1 because he's starved. He did not catch 3 mice, he only caught 1. Number of surviving mice. How many mice survived? Those 2 little dudes right there. Now here's the important part to use this math. So 2 mice survived, and remember each mouse can have an offspring. So 2 offspring. So for the next generation, I'm going to start off with 4 mice. Number of surviving owls, 0. Well, if he didn't survive, he can't have any offspring, right? So 0 plus 0 equals 0. Now I can go to round 2. Number of mice at the start. Well, I started with 3 at the beginning because that's what we always have to have at the very minimum. The number of mice I'm going to start with this time is this number right here. So I take that 4, transfer it here. Number of owls at the start. Well, we can't very well have 0 owls or this thing won't go very far, right? So no matter what, even if all the owls starve, you have to start off with at least 1. So I go back and I said I have 4 mice. So I take 1, 2, 3, and I get my 4th mouse right there, right? And I go again. I'm going to see if he catches anything. Ooh, he only landed on 1 of them. So he again caught just the 1 mouse. Number of owls starved. Yep, he starved again. He didn't catch his 3. The number of surviving mice plus the offspring. Well, he caught the 1, but I have 3 left, right? So if I have 3 mice, each one gets to have its own offspring. That is a total of 6. Number of surviving owls, 0 plus offspring equals 0. All right, there we go. So now we're going to start round 3. And now this time, instead of having 4 owls or mice, I'm going to have 6 mice. So I put my 6 mice there. Number of owls at the start, you always have to have the 1. And here are my 4, 5, 6 mice. So you spread your mice out, make it kind of fair for them, right? All right, and drop. Oh, he landed on just 1 of them. He landed on this one right here. So again, now as we get more and more mice, guys, your numbers are going to go up. All right, so don't worry that the owl is starving every time. That's just fine. So number of mice caught is 1. Number of owls starved, again, is 1. He didn't catch his 3. How many mice do I have now? Well, I started with 6. I had 1 caught, so I have 5 mice. Plus each of those little dudes gets an offspring. I have a total of 10 mice. The number of surviving owls, 0 plus 0 offspring equals 0. So now I'm going to start the next round off with 10 mice. All right, see how this goes? So you just keep on going, and eventually, let's say we're going to skip to round 13. We're just going to pretend, right? We've done that, we've done that, we've done our rounds. Let's pretend that in round 13, I've got 49 mice. Let's just pretend that. And let's just say I have 2 owls. Now let's do this. Let's just say I have 1 owl. Okay? So number of mice caught. Now if I put 49 of these buggers, I'm sure that little Mr. Owl is going to at least catch enough to survive. So let's try. Okay, all the mice that he landed on, get rid of these. Anything that he touched, I get to count. So he caught 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mice. So that 1 owl caught 6 mice. Number of owls starved, 0. They survived. Number of surviving offspring. Well, if I started off with 49 and I caught 6, that leaves me with 43. 43. Now I'm going to have 86 mice to start. Now here's the different part. Number of surviving owls. I had an owl who survived. But every 3 mice that an owl catches leads to another owl. So the number of surviving owls plus the offspring, because I caught 2 sets of 3, I can have 1 offspring. So now I'm going to have 2 owls. So now I'll start over here with 86, and I will start off with 2 owls, number of owls. Now, how do I do number of owls, right? You're only going to cut out just the 1 owl. You're not going to keep cutting out owls. That's crazy talk, right? So all you do then is you just pretend that you're having 2 owls by dropping 2 owls. So let's pretend I got my 86 mice here, right? So there's my 1 owl drop. Okay, everything that's underneath the owl, I count. Okay, so that's 1 drop. I'm going to count that in a minute because I got to spread it out and do another drop. So that's my 2nd owl that I'm doing right now. Okay, everything that's underneath, oops, messed that all up. Drop it again. And what's underneath of him is this. So now I can count again. So that was 2 owl drops. I just dropped it twice to represent the owls. And I caught 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Number of mice caught is 17, right? So I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to keep on filling in this chart until I've done 25 runs. Or I've hit 300 mice. Eventually, this number is going to get to 300. We only can do 300 mice at one time. Don't forget to read the rules here at the bottom. You have to have at least 3 mice at the start. So if round 1, that little owl, he happens to land on all 3 mice, and so you have 0 at the end, just like the owl. You always have to have at least 3 mice. You always have to have at least 1 owl, okay? So walk through this, read the directions carefully, and if you have questions, shoot me an email, folks. Have fun with Hoot Woods.